All right, welcome back. So after we've connected these our devices physically, what we are going to do is to assign a network addresses for each VLAN. I will give this one 192.1 uh, 68 168.5.0. Then I will give this one 192.168.10 dot 50 say 15 the check, yeah, dot 10 sorry, I'm gonna use this dot 10.0, and then I'll pick the last one, that's 192.168.20.0. So these are their various network addresses that I'm gonna use. Okay, so what we are going to do is now start the configuration. So the first thing I will do is I have to create these three VLANs. How do you create a VLAN? You just go to the switch and go to the global mode, enable, and then configure T. If you don't know how to use packet tracer, I'm inviting you to go and watch one of my videos where I've introduced packet tracer and then its interface, how to actually operate or navigate around packet tracer. So to create a VLAN, you just type the command VLAN and then you provide the number. I can even use question mark to check what are the numbers I can use. I have from 1 to 4094. This is the valid range you can use, but then we have the VLAN 1, which is a reserved number, and then we have 1005, which is also a reserved number. So we have 1003, 1002. All those ones are reserved number. You can't create a VLAN and then assign VLAN 1 because it already exists, or assigning 1005 is not possible. But you can use any other number within this range. In my case, I'm going to use VLAN 5. You can also name the VLAN, for instance, or which name can I use? Let's say just type the command name and you provide the name. I can use it production, something like this, production. Yeah. And I'm going to create another VLAN. That will be VLAN 10. And I will also name it. That will be maybe communication. I'm just giving names like that. And I'll create a third one, which is VLAN 15. Okay. And I'm going to give it a name. The name we have production communication. Let me give HR or human resources. So so the three VLANs have been created. How do you know if the VLANs have been created successfully? You need to go and check from the okay, let me go and check. I'll type show VLAN brief. When you look at them over here, you see all the VLANs have been created. So I have my VLAN 5, VLAN 10. Oh, sorry, I've created VLAN 15. I need to go and change it. So I need to go and change it. I have no VLAN 15. Okay. Yeah, so I actually removed it because if I type show VLAN brief over here, is no longer part of it. So I'll create VLAN 20 and I'll name it human resource, so HR. So if I type do show VLAN brief, you see the VLAN 20 is part. So what I'm going to emphasize over here is the 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. So remember, I told you these ones are reserved numbers. You can't create VLAN and assign them this kind of numbers or this one. So from 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, these numbers are reserved. You can't use them for your personal VLAN, but you can use any other number within the range of, let's say, 2 to 4094. So after the VLANs have been created, what am I going to do next? The second step will be to assign the interfaces to their respective VLAN. So from fast Ethernet 01 to fast Ethernet 08 need to be assigned to VLAN 5. Fast Ethernet 09 to fast Ethernet 15 need to be assigned to VLAN 10, and I have fast Ethernet 16 to 21, which is supposed to be assigned to VLAN 20. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'll still be on the switch. Okay, this is the VLAN mode. I need to exit from this mode and then be in the global mode. So since I'm gonna assign the range of these particular interfaces, I make sure I group these interfaces in a range. So which command am I gonna use? I'll use interface range. Then I'm going to specify the port fast Ethernet 0/1 to 8. Okay, yeah. Automatically the mode has changed from the config to config if range. It means over here I've ranged the port started from fast Ethernet 1, fast Ethernet 2 up to fast Ethernet 8. So the next command is to type switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN, and then I have to provide the VLAN number in this case, which is VLAN 5. So VLAN 5. And when you look at the interfaces over here, they must have changed. Yeah, you see the color changed. I need to issue what? I need to type no shutdown to enable the interfaces. So that's for the first one, VLAN 5. I need to do the same thing for VLAN 10 as well. So I will exit and then range the VLAN 10 interface range fast. The VLAN 10 starts with fast 9 and 15. So that will be 0/9 to 15. And I also type switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, and then I have no shutdown. So these are the command you use when you want to assign the interfaces to a particular VLAN. So the first thing you do is to create your VLAN. The second is to assign the interfaces to the respective VLAN. That's what we are doing. So it's left with the last one, which is our VLAN 20, which goes from 16 to 21. So I'll exit first, interface range fast 0/16 to 21. Yeah, we have switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20, and then provide no shutdown. All right, so now I've done reassigning the interfaces. I'm reassigning them because the interfaces by default are assigned to the native VLAN, which is VLAN 1. So I've done reassigning the interfaces to their respective VLAN. I have to go and check and see if what I've done has been successful. So I need to end and type show VLAN brief. So look at them. The first, which is production VLAN 5, I have from fast Ethernet 1 to fast Ethernet 8. I have VLAN 10, which goes fast Ethernet 9 to 15. I have VLAN 20, which goes from 16 to 21. It means what it's kind of relocating things. Okay, so my interfaces by default were assigned to VLAN 1, which is the native VLAN, but this time around they are being reassigned to different VLANs that I have created. Okay, so that's actually what you do when you are creating the VLAN and then assigning the VLAN to their respective VLAN. Yeah, the interfaces to their respective VLAN. So after we've reassigned the interfaces, what we have to do is we make sure we provide the gateway for each VLAN. Okay, so what do we do now? The first one is giga00, which is for VLAN 5. The second is for VLAN 10, and the last is for VLAN 20. So the giga00 is for VLAN 5, giga01 is for VLAN 10, and giga02 is for VLAN 20. Okay, 10 and 20. over. All right. So we go to the router. We open our CLI. The CLI. Sorry, it's actually. Let me shift it this side. Yeah. So this is it. Oh, it's big. Yeah. So this is it. This is my CLI. Okay. This is my CLI. So okay. So to not drag the video long, let's cut it here and then start a new video where I'm gonna do the configuration, everything. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for you to discover how the configuration is done. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.